Hello guys, Marcio Barbosa here. It's a pleasure to be with you guys again. I'm gonna answer some questions for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope I can help you guys just to have better ideas in how to solve a few problems. Like for example, injuries, right? I have a few questions that I'm gonna answer. One of them is like how to prevent injuries, like elbow pains, wrist, etc., etc. A good tip is to prevent. Let's say you're going to practice, right? You're going to practice. Before you get to practice, I know 90% or more don't do this, but this is the way you should do. Like for any activity, you have to warm up your body first for at least like 5 minutes. So this is how you go to prevent injury. Like you warm up your body, your full body. Doesn't matter if you're gonna use your arm or your leg, whatever it is. You have to warm up your body. This is the best thing to do first. Then you're gonna stretch. You're gonna arm wrestle. You stretch. You do all the stretching in your arms, in your fingers, wrist, and after that, I would recommend a warm up with the rubber band. You can use any type. Rubber bands, like the sport bands, are awesome. They have any type. I have a few of them here, over here. Any size for any pressure, depends how strong you are. But warm up, side pressure, back pressure, your wrist, your brachialis, your everything. Your pull down, anything you can warm up with it. Nothing crazy, just a warm up. Right? Your shoulders a little bit, just a warm up. Wait for, I don't know, 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and you start your practice. And when you finish practice, this is what is very important. A lot of people don't do that, because it doesn't matter if you feel any type of pain or not. You should ice it up. Let's say you get home after practice. First thing, ice it up for 20 minutes. The next day, you should ice it up. You should ice it up too, right? Ice it up if you can, like 3 times a day for 20 minutes if you can, right? And you're gonna do a rehab the next day. And then the following day, I would suggest a day off. That's when you take your day off. Let's say you practice, let's say Thursday night, like I do. Ice it up after practice. The next day, I'll ice it up in the morning before I go to work. Ice it up when you come back from work. Do a rehab exercise just for blood flow, and then ice it up again, right? And then Saturday, don't go train, even if you feel better, rest it up. Sunday, you can start working again. Work lightly, and then from Monday on, you can start training, hard like you used to. It goes for everything. If you feel, you should ice it up your forearms, your bicep, everything. If you have one of those leaves that you can put in your refrigerator, cover from wrist to bicep, that's perfect. I have one of those. A lot of people ask about elbow pain. Like elbow, it bother most people, right? I would suggest those sport bands are good for that. Do like 1,000 reps just to stabilization of the elbow. And also I like to suggest the GM press. If you ever see Todd Hutchins doing one of those seminars, he always suggests people to do the JM presses, which is, imagine you're in a bench press, you're on a bench that you do bench press, right? But you're gonna grab, he suggests 3 kinds of grip like this, like that, and open. I basically go, you know, the length of my shoulder, like straight like this, and just grab it, and you come to your chin and push it up, right? Go here, push it up. You can see in there's a bunch of videos of JM Press. I forgot the guy who invented, but I know a lot of bench presses use this for get that stability strength to strengthen the tendon in your elbow, so they'll be able to bench press much better, much heavier. So it's a good suggestion. It really works. I try, and it's pretty good. I used to have a lot of pain in my elbow. Sport bands and jam presses resolves the problem. So try out. Another common question that I have is how do you train for a tournament or for a super match? How do you split those trainings? I'm not an expert in periodization because I used to be. I used to study a lot back in when I used to live in Brazil, but since I came to the United States 20 years ago, I've been working construction as a fence installer, item worker, hard work. So I had to learn. I had no option. I had to learn how to feel my body and understand by the way I'm feeling my body, because imagine you train hard all week, you practice, you need to recover, and the next day you have to work hard, you have to be on a jackhammer, boom, 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 all day long. It doesn't help at all. So I had to learn how to adapt myself, and I kind of go with the flow. But my suggestion is when you train, for example, for a super match, my opinion, for me, I try to get as strong as possible, because a super match, it's people might think the opposite, but it's something that is in short period of time. Let's say a super match will last like 10-15 minutes the most, and it's pretty quick. So you have to be as strong as you can get, and you have to build the endurance. Like, it's a different type of training, so I would try to get as strong as possible if I have a super match, because it's not gonna be you're gonna pull the same person for whatever 3 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds, whatever it is, whatever the case may be, is just that person. So the first thing, of course, is to study that person, to study the style, to study compared to your style, it's gonna be your strategy to beat that person. So the first thing is to study, and then find out what works best for you. It's hard to say this is what work or that is what work, because every single person is different. Like, I'm not a long leverage. I'm a and I pull heavy weights, so my hand is small. So it's not one rule for everybody, because every single arm wrestler is different. So you have to find out what works best for you. So just to give an idea, if I have a super match, I will study my opponent. I will see what's the weakness, what's the strongest point, and I will try to according to my style with that guy, to train as hard as I can to be. Of course, you need to be elite level. You need to be strong, right? So I'll try to get stronger as possible, and I'll study a way to beat that person with technique and strength. If it's a tournament, a big tournament, if it's a big tournament, most of the times what I learned within the years is not always the strongest guy wins when it's a tournament. Let's say you go to a tournament, there's 30 guys. Not always the strongest guy is going to win, unless he's so much stronger, like levels above, he's going to just smash everybody like nothing, and then the strongest guy will win. But when the the level is super close, you know, the guy who has the most endurance is gonna win, and or more explosive, quicker. It's so many things that play with that. So it's a different training. It's mostly I would train endurance, right? I would train to be very explosive on the go, and though that would be my difference. A super match again, I'll try to be the strongest possible, and I'll try to have an A game for that person that I'm gonna pull. I will study, and super tournament I'll worry more about the endurance because, and of course I'll train every important part, uh, every fundamental exercise, all vectors needed, but I'll try to be more durable. I'll try to have a lot more endurance because tournaments you can start in the morning and finish at night. So you need to be energetic. So it's a different type of approach. Um, Split arm wrestling training is just not easy to explain. I just can give you ideas. For example, if you're gonna split, if you want to be a complete arm wrestler, like I have my A game, but I like to be complete, right? I like to have a strong hook, strong top row, press, everything. I do everything on the table. Of course, the most important thing is the arm wrestling practice, like the table time. If you're gonna train for something important, you're not just going to practice and you're just gonna bang and beat everybody or get beat or whatever. It's not a competition. When you go to a practice, when you meet with a club, they need to know what you need in order to get you better. Like, you're not just going there and bang. You need to train technique. You need to get stronger where you need to be, and they need to understand it and need to help you, right? It has to be like that. No egos, and you just go to get better. So that will be very, very important. That will be like my most important day of the week. And over there, I'm gonna train with a partner. Uh, you know, whatever. My back pressure, my top row, my hook, my supinating or dragging, whatever style you need to be training. You're gonna put that day most important of the week. And the other workouts you can split in a suggestion. This is my suggestion: back pressure and top row and hook, right? If you want to be good at both, you can actually split for example, the top row in two different ones. Like you can train offensive top row, defensive top row. Same thing with the hook, defensive, offensive. You can train everything. You can do everything in the table, and then you can do everything in the gym also. But I will split like top row and hook, and you can do, like I said, 2 days of each: offensive top row, defensive top row, offensive hook, defensive hook, and you can incorporate with cupping, pronating, rising, supinating, according to what style you're gonna train. Hopefully you guys get it, right? So you can split it like that. The other parts of the body, I usually train enough. If that's a question too, like let's say, oh, how about your chest, back? Back is very important. That's why I do pull-ups every week. But like the chest, everything is important. But I train like more like when I'm off. Like if I have a match, if I have something, I'll be very, very specific. At least the last 2 or 3 months. At least the last 2 months. I'll be focusing more in either if it's a super match on my opponent, what I have to get better to beat that guy, and if it's a tournament, like I said, I'm just trying to get good in everything and be very durable on the table. So I hope I explained. I always split in top row and hook, offensive and defensive, and separate days. People ask about technique versus strength. It's a very interesting topic because, but if you want to reach the elite level, you have to be strong, son. You have to train. There's no cheating around. You gotta be strong. You gotta be strong as possible. Super strong. Get yourself as strong as you can possibly be and develop your technique. But just to clarify a little bit, if you're a starter, like if you're a beginner, I would suggest for you to learn first technique, learn arm wrestling, learn how to pull, how to use your, how to top or how to hook, or what's your A game first, and then you develop strength. Because it's hard by experience, not by my experience, but by my friends, some of my friends' experience. If you train to be strong first, you would do good, but you'd be very stiff. You wouldn't learn correctly how to apply your strength, how to connect, your body, for example, like your hand with your lat when you lock like this. Like you won't learn, once you get big and strong, you miss that part. So you want to learn that part first, because you'll be more loose, and then you strengthen your body, your whole body after you get fully stronger, after. But it's very interesting. Like I was saying, like elite level, you have to be strong. There's no way. You have to be strong, and you have to be technical. The technique actually is gonna determine who's gonna be the champion, because at elite level there's so many strong people. Everybody's super strong. But what defines who's better, it's gonna be the technique. But they need to be strong. So both of them are super important. Just gonna answer one more question, so this video is not too long. It's a lot of going on, people asking about me commentating about Matt Mask and Hermes Gasparini from Italy. I don't know what to say. I know I heard just it's everywhere in the internet, and the Hermes Gasparini challenge either Matt Mask or Devon Larratt for a super match, either in a neutral country like Dubai or maybe Turkey. You pay like $1,000 if he loses, and if he wins, he doesn't get anything because he just want to prove a point or something like that. My opinion about it, it's just it's hard to. I mean, I don't know if Hermes feel like he needs to prove that he's better than those Canadians. But I know he lost to Matt Mask in his debut in the WAL like about a year and a half ago. I was actually supposed to pull him, but I had an injury, an elbow injury, after pulling Krasimir. So the match was supposed to be like only 6 weeks after. So I started training, but I got hurt. But back to Matt and Hermes. I think it could be a very interesting match again, because both of them are top rollers. Matt is more like a pronate. He pronates better. Hermes is the combination. He basically cup and roll, but both of those guys have amazing hands. But back to the challenge, it was weird. I mean, I think Hermes, if he wants to pull Matt, because I think Devon is out of this, because he already said to pull Michael Todd in 2 months for a big prize money, I heard. So $10,000 won't budge much, So, but of course, $10,000 is a good amount of money. I'm sure Matt will accept if Hermes would have made the right way, which is you know, message him first, offer him the money, but also if it's Dubai or even Turkey, it's very expensive to get there, you know, especially if you have to quarantine. So it's a lot of money. I don't think it's like if you go there, if he doesn't offer to pay for expenses plus the bonus, it's a hard thing to do. But anyways, guys, I don't know what to say. I think if it ever happens, it'll be a very interesting match. I think it's in a phenomenal shape right now. If you just want to prove a point with Matt, I mean, message directly Matt Mask and give him some time to train, because I don't think he's been training much. And I know Hermes is in look like in a peak shape. And who knows, we might have that match soon, you know, in a few months. I would love to see it. I would love to see anything. We haven't seen much lately. So we're just starting to see the doors open a little bit for arm wrestling again. And I think, yeah, Matt Mask, the day Matt Mask pulled Hermes Gasparini, he destroyed him. I'm sorry, you can blame the rules or whatever you want to blame, but still an arm wrestling match. Doesn't matter if the elbow pads are bigger or not. It's just, in the end, you have to pin the guy, right? So Matt Mask was a better man that day. But who knows if they ever pull again. If this match happens, maybe Gasparini is better now. But until then, you know, Matt owes him. So we'll see. I would love to see that match happen. I think everybody would love to see it. And I have no favors. Hermes, if it's today, Hermes will be the favorite because he looks in very, very good shape after seeing him practicing with Vitali. Even though it's practice, I don't take much of a practice. To me, practice is practice. The most important thing is when the ref says go and it's a real match, you know. The practice, you can be the king of practice and, you know, means nothing to me. You just can see that, like you have an idea that you can be on a conversation, but that's it. To prove a point, you have to win in an official match. So I would love to see it anyways, but that's it, guys. Sorry, long video, 23 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoy, you know, some arm wrestling talk. And I hope with all the tips about the injuries, how to train for a match or tournament, and how do you split your workout. It's hard to say, everybody's different. You have to find out what works better for you. But till the next video, guys, peace out.